The Caribbean is heating up, and this time the world is watching. You're watching Times XP. My name is Dhriti Autry, and a massive oil tanker seized by the United States off the coast of Venezuela, and all of a sudden, global tensions have skyrocketed. Russia is angry, President Trump is doubling down, and Venezuela right in the middle of this brewing storm. In fact, Putin, his warning is loud and clear. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, he didn't mince his words. He called on the US to clarify its position on Venezuela immediately. He said Washington cannot act alone, specifically on the issues like maritime security and drug trafficking. He has warned that these are collective issues. They require coordination and not unilateral actions. In other words, Russia is watching and it will respond if things go far. Let me tell you what really happened to the tanker here. The US says it seized a sanctioned oil tanker, one Trump described as very large. Why? Because Pentagon claims that tanker was breaking sanctions, possibly transporting Venezuelan oil illegally. Maduro's government is enraged. They call it an act of aggression, a provocation, a direct challenge to Venezuelan sovereignty, and the world is holding its breath. In fact, Trump, he stepped in and he said no apologies, no backing down. President Trump confirmed the operation himself. He proudly called it a bold move to enforce the US sanctions. But every bold action comes with consequences, right? And this one, it has Putin boiling. Now, why this is so big for global politics? This is not just about one ship or maybe one country. The US is flexing military power in the Caribbean. Russia is signaling it won't tolerate the unilateral aggression. Venezuela is caught between two superpowers and its sovereignty is under fire. Analysts say the stakes are higher than ever. Oil supplies, trade routes, and regional security, they are all online. So is it a war on the horizon? Nobody knows, but here's what's clear. Washington is willing to risk the confrontation to enforce its policies. Moscow is ready to push back if its ally is threatened. Caracas is preparing for economic, political, and military fallout. One wrong move and this Caribbean flashpoint could become a global showdown.